What importance does media have in a charity fundraising campaign? We are 4 DCU Master students who have come together to create a charity event called Walk to Inspire, which aims to raise money and raise awareness for Paralympics Ireland and help fund some of their athletes' journey to the Olympic Games next year in Paris. Our goal for this campaign is to raise €5,000. Follow us step by step and see the trials and tribulations of travelling into the uncharted water of a modern day fundraising event. For our campaign, we wanted to create an event that would make a splash and gain attention with a large audience. To do this, I decided to really push myself and walk 100 kilometres in one day. By doing an event of this magnitude, we felt it would spark huge interest due to the mental and physical toll on the body. We also felt this challenge would really stand out, especially in social media, and with the charity space already very saturated with campaigns, we thought this would give us an edge. I really wanted to push my mind and body to its limit and try to mirror what Irish Paralympians do almost every day, competing at the highest level in the world.
Our group is 4 members. Park Sullivan, who is project lead and will oversee the running of the event and manage the team. Park will also assist in video production and will be the chief fundraiser. Matthias Kaus is the second member of the team. Matthias will be in charge of designing and creating a website for our event, alongside doing market research on fundraising methods. My name is Conor McCarry and I am the third member of our team. My responsibilities will include video production for the event, including promotional content and directing the interviews. The last member of our team is Aaron Doyle. Aaron will be in charge of social media management and content creation for our pages. Although these will be the core roles in the campaign, each member was involved in various tasks such as visual design for posters and flyers, contacting businesses for sponsorship, conducting the interviews, drafting questions for the interviews, acquiring prizes for giveaways, and many more, which we will talk about throughout this documentary. While we have experience in different areas of media, we have minimal experiences when it comes to fundraising campaigns. Alongside a limited budget and time constraints, the decisions made throughout this campaign will reflect these limitations we face throughout our project.
Currently in Ireland, there are more than 11,000 registered charities. Since COVID-19, there has been a huge surge in charities being started, with over 1,500 being launched since the pandemic. With 9 out of 10 Irish adults having donated to charity in 2022. As a group, we were very aware that charity fundraising has grown significantly in recent years, and we knew it would be hard for our campaign to stand out in an already overly saturated market. Over the last few years, I have been following the career of Paralympian Jason Smith, and I've always felt like he is an incredible role model for people. I decided to share his story with the team, and I knew we were all heavily involved in sport and physical fitness, and I felt Paralympics Ireland really resonated with us and our core values as individuals.
But maybe the way we tell our story does, and we are what we are. Paralympics Ireland is elite athletes with a disability going forward to compete at the Paralympic Games and try to win medals for Ireland. That's what we are, but it's the how we tell our story that has started to evolve.
Early in our campaign, Pork and Conor travelled to one of their recruitment campaigns in Galway and met with current para-athletes as well as aspiring young athletes, and were really moved by the organisation and their passion and energy. This insight into the work of Paralympics Ireland really resonated with us as a group, and we felt more motivated than ever to work as hard as possible to make our campaign a success. It was really empowering for us all to use our acquired skill sets in order to help others.
Each charity campaign is unique and will have its own set of challenges and limitations.
It was an enjoyable experience in terms of organising the event. It was a challenge trying to get the logistics sorted and different admin things, especially that seeing as we don't have any actual background in it. It's just we're just winging it.
Not every charity campaign would be able to do beneficiary events such as dinners, concerts, or multiple fundraising events for their campaign. So it's important to have a realistic view of what you can and cannot do. Otherwise, you end up wasting time and money. Charity fundraising techniques may vary based on the goals, target audience, and resources of an organization. Here are some commonly used and effective fundraising techniques: donation appeals, direct mail, crowdfunding, email campaigns, events and fundraisers, fund runs or walkathons, social media campaigns. It is important for organizations to choose fundraising techniques that align with their mission, target audience, and available resources.
We done the posters around, which is a good thing. Get the posters out there, and you're bringing in people then from outside the village like Castle Jordan, Rochelle Bridge. Now, we have a big turnout from Rochelle Bridge.
For further investigation and research, we found that the following challenges would be very apparent throughout our journey: limited resources, donor fatigue, message clarity, and differentiation, building trust and credibility. In researching target audience, adapting to digital landscape, measuring impact. Successful charity campaigns address these challenges proactively, employing strategic planning, creativity, adaptability, and effective communication to engage with donors and make a positive difference in the world.
What would happen a lot of the times with a charity, if they don't have an in-house event person with that kind of experience, they can end up wasting a lot of time and resources trying to figure out where to start. So that's why it kind of works out well sometimes, that I can just go in, do the job, do it well, and then be gone.
After analysing all of the research strategies, we decided to implement a number of them and designed our campaign based on what we believed would work based on our team size and our skill set within the team. We wanted to investigate the use of traditional versus modern approach, test each one and be able to give a detailed experience on how we felt it worked. In a traditional sense, we will be handing out flyers, posters, participating in radio shows, calling and emailing businesses, and leveraging our contacts and personal relationships throughout our inner circles and professional relationships to pursue donations.
Networking is, and people say networking, and it's awkward and that kind of thing, people don't enjoy it, but it's just personal conversations, that's all it is. It's not going out, walking into a room, handing out 40 business cards. That's not networking. Networking is sitting down and having a coffee with someone and getting to know them.
In a modern sense, we will drive the campaign with high quality video production, creation of a website and social media pages, using paid promotion on social media, and seeing how leveraging the relationship of influencers and people with clout can pay dividends in garnering attention for our event, and ultimately how this translates to donations. We will now break down all the different strategies we've implemented and give feedback on how successful we felt it went with the knowledge we had available to us.
We had two emailing strategies. One was to target the 60 largest corporations in the country and try to obtain business sponsorship, and our second strategy was to email 20 local businesses in Tullamore where the event was being held. However, we were completely caught off guard when none of the 60 businesses even got back to us. Thankfully, our local focused approach within the Tullamore community yielded better results, with two businesses with connections to myself donating €300 each. We had made a total of 20 calls to local business owners in Tullamore. We secured 2 business sponsorships over the phone. The remainder either said they weren't in a position to help or they were already working with another charity. We were extremely disappointed at the poor return for business sponsorships, as these companies and corporations have large capital to help us out, but didn't feel invested enough or feel like it was a win for them to connect with us. Our team designed posters and flyers and got them printed at a local print shop in Tullamore at a cost of €50. We hung 20 posters in cafes, clothing stores, the library, street poles and a shopping centre. We went to both Tesco and Dunnes stores and handed out 200 flyers. On the flyer and poster was a unique QR code which we would monitor the traffic through our website. A total of 16 hours went into designing the posters and flyers, and we spent 10 hours on the day in Tullamore handing them out. We were extremely disappointed at the poor return in terms of donations, especially considering we had a lot of meaningful conversations with people about the event and what we were trying to achieve.
As Park owns a media company, we were able to produce high quality promotional content to market our event. We aren't entirely sure whether these high quality videos translated to direct donations. However, Park did post one of these high quality videos on his personal LinkedIn page and was able to obtain a €500 donation from a business connection he had made over the years. Park was invited by Paralympics to Dublin City FM, where he spoke about the event and what we were trying to achieve.
On to our guest for this evening, it's Pádraig Sullivan. He's part of a college group called Walk to Inspire. Pádraig is going to attempt to walk 100 kilometres in 24 hours on June 20th, and it's all aid of Paralympics Ireland. So welcome to the show, Pádraig.
Pádraig promoted the social media pages and asked listeners if they could donate to our cause. The show aired on Friday the 16th of June at 7 p.m, and we closely monitored our donation link over the next few days. There were no donations until the following Tuesday. We believe this was a nice promotional piece to have and helped us reach a wider audience, but it did not specifically translate to any donations. We shared the GoFundMe link with friends, family, work colleagues and WhatsApp groups we were involved in. In the end, there were over 70 donations on the GoFundMe link. There were 12 anonymous donations and over 60 donations who gave their name. To our amazement, we all had some connection to the people, which really drove home the power of personal relationships and connections.
The advice I would give is try and nail down 3, 4, 5, 6 people of a support network outside of people who are extremely invested in it already, and have them on standby to help with whatever it may be.
I was tasked with creating the social media accounts and coming up with the marketing strategies we would use in order to promote our campaign. I took a lot of inspiration from online content creators who have successfully used social media campaigns to raise millions of dollars for charity. I felt like their honesty and authenticity when engaging with their audience and community was one of the key factors that helped them to raise money and awareness for their selected charities. I decided that Instagram would be our main social media hub, as it allowed us to utilize image and video posts to engage our audience, and it really helped us to create a relationship with them. I used short daily vlogs of us all training to really connect with our audience, and it was a great way of showcasing each team member's individual personalities. And this helped to give our community an opportunity to have a behind-the-scenes look at the people running the campaign. I think the transparency and vulnerability of these short vlogs really helped us to connect with our audience in a human way, and it really helped us to build up a sense of trust and credibility with them. Often a lot of charity campaigns and brands can come across too corporate online, and this tends to create a sense of unease and disconnect between them and their community. Our daily training vlogs done extremely well on Instagram, with the majority of them having anywhere between 500 to 1,000 views, which really helped us grow our campaign and reach a new audience. Our Instagram campaign finished up with our page having over 450 followers and our posts engaging with over 20,000 people. We were surprised by this considering our advertising budget was quite low, with us only spending around €30 on paid promotions through Instagram. My biggest takeaway from running a charity campaign on social media is that not all engagement is created equally. We were able to use Instagram to amplify our message, engage our audience, foster a community and drive traffic to our donation pages. It offered us a powerful platform for storytelling, networking, and gave us a means to spread awareness for Paralympics Ireland, as it helped to drive a lot of our traffic to their pages. However, we did notice that despite all the widespread exposure and engagement that our campaign received on social media, it didn't directly translate to any of the new accounts we reached donating to our cause.
I think with social media, I mean, it's always good to have a social media presence because you get kind of eyeballs on what you're promoting from places you wouldn't really expect. And particularly as well with the likes of Instagram, TikTok and that kind of thing. It will bring in a younger audience and make them more aware of it. But in terms of the impact on the fundraising side of things, I would say minimal.
And we found that the majority of our donations came through from our close friends and family.
I created a website at the start of the campaign to be used as a calling card for the event, where people could go to get information of what we were doing and direct them to our social media channels or donation page. Not having much experience with website design, I chose the platform Wix.com, as it offers users a template on how to build a website and was pretty straightforward. My goal was to make something simple and easy to navigate, and took me around 20 to 25 hours to finalize the whole website. I would then update with new information as necessary. Looking at the statistics of the website at the end of the event, it didn't really play a significant role for us. We had around 50 unique users throughout the period of the campaign. They were, however, more interested in learning about the event rather than donating to us. The website was promoted alongside social media, however, it didn't really get the same traction as the other platforms. We spent a total of €40 on it, and we didn't really see any significant returns from it. As the campaign progressed, I would research any relevant topics around what we were doing to see if we were on the right track. And at times, the material we come across would be contrary to what we were encountering. Several articles in journal praised social media for being highly effective with building an audience and getting donations, but we were experiencing the exact opposite when it came to donations. This gave us hope at the start of the campaign, but as we progressed, it became just frustrating. Outside of social media, I took a look on how traditional media performs in the context of a fundraising campaign, and how we could use things like posters and flyers, or potentially seek radio advertisement as an option to promote our campaign. Current recommendations almost all revolve around using social media or other online platforms as a way to promote your campaign. Regardless, We decided to give a try ourselves to see if we could get some return from it, as it wouldn't be too much of a hurdle to do so. But it didn't really help us at all.
I think my biggest takeaway from this campaign is how uplifting and gratifying it can be to help others and spread awareness for a great social cause. As I mentioned earlier, I've had a lot of experience running social media pages for business and events, but the job satisfaction I've received for them pales in comparison to how I felt working throughout the Walk to Inspire campaign. It's one thing to use social media for promoting your brand or business, but this campaign gave me a chance to really make a difference for a specific community and allowed me to connect with people in a way that I've never really been able to do in previous job roles.
I was quite worried about the event. Being the one in charge of the website, I could see it wasn't getting as much attention as we initially hoped for. I looked at our social media channels in hopes they were in a better spot, but they were in a similar position. I remember talking to everyone in the group, and the general sentiment was that even if it didn't get the 5K we planned for, the learnings of this event were very valuable. The interviews we did and the content we were putting out were great, but we weren't seeing as much return. On the day of the event, we were all quite hopeful and cheerful that it was all working out, and everything we did so far was worth it. It was a great learning experience in the end, and I'm happy it ended up being a success.
The event day itself was a grind from start to finish. I personally ran the first and last stretch with Park to provide moral support and to help push him through the final hurdle. To see him on his first lap versus his last lap was an eye-opening experience and a great lesson in mental strength, never giving up and achieving a seemingly impossible task. For me, what was incredibly rewarding was taking this Master's final project as an opportunity to make a difference in the community and give back and support to Ireland's current and future sporting heroes. I will forever be grateful for this opportunity and the lessons it taught me, and I take great pride in the fact that we took on this immense challenge, not because we thought it would be easy, but because we knew it would be hard. We pushed ourselves to our physical and mental limits in this project and explored vast areas of fundraising methods to determine the most time and cost-effective ways for us to give back to our community and raise money for charity. The main conclusion I've come to in terms of donations is to be sure to engage in the local community and get them on board on the project. Pick up the phone, contact the people you know, and even the people you don't know so well. There is no shame in asking people for help. People will often surprise you with their generosity. Don't be afraid to explore every avenue and exhaust every possible resource. Learn from many mistakes and shortcomings and never let rejection slow you down. If you set yourself a goal and put your mind to it, anything is possible, no matter the circumstances.
I think the enthusiasm that you showed was outstanding, and I think that's something that I would have learned myself as the person who's in charge of fundraising for Paralympics Ireland. Was the personal touch that you used was certainly something that rang true. I think people would have latched on to the personality that you were showing through all of your channel or all of your posts throughout all of your channels. I think that's something that you personally, as a person who did it and was front and center, that was really, really strong. I think putting a face on a campaign is something that I would have learned a lot about. And then the constant messaging that you were doing throughout the whole campaign, again, was really, really useful. It was good to see it so well planned. Would we have learned a lot? I think so. I think if we were to run our own fundraising campaign again in the next couple of years, I'd look to bring you in and actually talk to you about what you've learned and do a review to see what we can take from what you've done and how we could implement it in our campaign. So I think that's the best endorsement I can give about what you did, is we want to steal your ideas.
This campaign on a personal level was very challenging. I had to manage the team and the campaign and also train for the event, which took over 2 months of my life. I was fully invested in making this a success, but very much appreciated the friendships I made and the help that we received. We hit numerous roadblocks along the way, and it really took its toll on the team, but I was so impressed at the team's ability to pick ourselves up after a disappointment. In a world where we are consumed by profiles, content and image, the most alarming aspect of this campaign is the real value of connection and community spirit. People engage and connect with people, and it's the most important thing we have.